I haven't felt this good. I don't even remember the last time, since I was a kid, probably. I mean, it's just, and it takes time for these cells to really activate inside your body, and I'm feeling this good just a few days in. It just blows my mind. I can't wait for a month or two to pass, really.
All right, so we got the rock star down here, Tyler. Tyler, tell us why you're in Medellin, Colombia, and at BioXcellerator this week.
Yeah. So I've had an autoimmune disorder since I was like 12, 14 years old. Really come on from having mono and Epstein's-Barr, which I guess I didn't know it at the time, but anytime you get both of those viruses, especially simultaneously, there's like a 80-something% chance that you're going to end up with an autoimmune. And yeah, it's something that I've struggled with, for a long time, and it's just been a killer. And I've traveled all over the place trying to find doctors that could even identify what I had or find some solutions for me. And it wasn't until I came upon BioXcellerator that there was even hope of a cure. So really, really happy to be here. It's something I've had for a really long time, and I'm looking forward to getting healthy again.
Now, out of all these stem cell companies that are out there now, there's a lot of them now. What made you choose BioXcellerator?
Yeah, my brother also has some problems with his back and shoulder, and he actually heard about stem cell before I did, and I do a lot of traveling for my job, and I traveled all over the place, and I was, because he wanted to get stem cell, and I traveled all over the place looking at all these different clinics, and because of course, there's clinics in Mexico, all over Mexico, and there's clinics in the States, of course, and Panama City, but really at the end of the day, and I went around and I didn't look at all of them, but I looked at a bunch of them, and at the end of the day, it was very tight security getting into these places. And the big thing with stem cells, really, in the research that I've done, is, if for the people listening, when you go back, I think it was under the Bush administration, they outlawed stem cell research, or they basically said, "Oh, this is a research that's immoral," and they're taking fetuses and embryonic cells, which I personally, my moral compass won't allow me to do anything that's going to contribute to an abortion or anything like that, right? I mean, I just don't believe in that. And when I was traveling around looking at all these other clinics, there's that fear, right, of I need something for my health, but am I willing to cross that moral line? And I'm just not. And every time I would go into these clinics, security was really tight, and they were always just kind of hiding behind this veil of but they would tell you like, "Oh, but we're doing it legitimate, and we don't take embryonic or cells from fetuses or anything like that." But there really wasn't any proof, But when I came to tour BioXcellerator, when I came in, what really blew my mind was the glass walls. Everything's glass. It has this air of transparency about it. And so, unlike any other clinic, they were like, "Look, it is what it is." And you can literally look through the glass window and see our lab. They have a lab right here, and that, which is nobody else has that, And so it gave me just a tremendous amount of confidence that I wasn't going to be participating in something that violated my moral compass at the end of the day. And they're so honest, straightforward. They're just a bunch of straight shooters, and that's what gave me the confidence that BioXcellerator, it's the place to be. They know where they're getting the cells. You can see it. It's all right there in front of you. And it was just, it's the place. It's the only place to be. If you're going to do stem cell therapy, BioXcellerator is the only place that you can trust.
We appreciate, man. We appreciate. Now, tell us what you did while you were here. What you got done?
Yeah, so it was like a wellness vacation. They had my day mapped out down to every hour. It really, honestly, I was kind of nervous. You coming all the way across the country, and being a blue collar, hand my whole entire life, like seeing is believing, and yeah, I get here and the first thing I do is meet with a bunch of doctors and they take a sample of your hair and do a gene test and a whole bunch of testing, and then they build out this protocol that's specifically designed for your body and whatever issue that you're having. And yeah, it was amazing. There's a hotel a short walk away. I would go back to that hotel, between appointments, and of course I do a lot of work and I can work from my computer, and I was able to stay hooked up, stay active at work and keeping things rolling, and then every day come back, get my treatment, get my stem cell treatment, the cold therapy, the oxygen chamber. It's a whole regimen of things that I did all week and look, dude, I am feeling amazing.
Last but not least, I know you kind of summed it up with the lab, but if there's someone thinking about coming down here and they're like, oh, Medellin, Colombia for a medical treatment, after, not with results, but after going through the protocol this week, what would you tell that person?
Yeah, there is a stigmatism or this idea that, America is it's a city on the shining city on the hill, and that we're just, we have everything, and it is just simply not true. I mean, I love my country. I'm a super patriotic American, and I believe that, one day we will be the shining city on the hill again. But Medellin is just an incredible city. It's not for 1 second did I feel unsafe, and I got to travel all over this place. And it's a beautiful city, and you're talking the state of the art, the most advanced medical procedures are happening right here, and quite honestly, there's a lot of money that Big Pharma and some of these other groups, the Orthopedic Surgeons Association, cutting on you and giving you a pharmaceutical drug that's the solution in the States. And if you want to get cured, from inside your body, and you want to go out and you want to see some of the most advanced technology, the cutting edge stuff, you're going to only find that here at BioXcellerator in Medellin, Colombia. I mean, it is what it is.